Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Number 2, South Dakota State taking on number 3, North Dakota State for the right to go to the Summit League Tournament Championship. Sports Director Braden Byers along with you. Glad to have you here on KSDJ 90.7. It's shaping up to be a fun one. I know I've been waiting all day. Lots of these Jackrabbit fans have been waiting all day too. Most of them in attendance for the women's game that happened starting at 12:30 today. They win and they move on to the Summit League Championship, and then after that we found out who they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing the Omaha Mavericks. As you can hear here, cheerleaders running out with an NDSU's flags as the Bison enter the floor. The pep band over to our right playing as they enter the floor. Let's go ahead and outline the Bison. As I mentioned, 23-10 overall, 13-5 in the conference. They're looking for their 5th tournament title in 10 years. NDSU and SDSU are the only schools in the Summit League to finish in the top 3 every year for the past 5 years. That is absolutely remarkable. This North Dakota State team has been referred to affectionately as the Baby Bison all year long. In Summit League play, 66% of their minutes were played by freshmen or sophomores. As a caveat to that, a little by the way, there are no seniors on this NDSU roster, and they are 3rd in the conference coming in here looking for a shot at the conference championship game, potentially a conference title. Now the Jackrabbits, they're coming in 13-5 in the Summit. They are the defending Summit League tournament champions. They finished 2nd as they were predicted to, but here they are facing off against their interstate rival for the chance to go to the championship game. SDSU coming onto the court now from our left to our right. We've got the pep band in the student section to our right. Jackrabbit fans all around us encompassing. In the game before this, Oral Roberts versus St. Thomas, an overwhelming amount of Jackrabbit fans rooting for the Tommies, hoping for an easier path to the NCAA tournament. Oral Roberts pulled it out, however, so that is who these two teams are playing to match up with tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. If the Jackrabbits make it to that game, we will have it for you here on KSDJ. If they don't, we'll just have the game starting at 12:30 tomorrow. 1 o'clock tomorrow. Let's take a look at some of the players for North Dakota State. Taking a look at the previous game starters. We'll start off with who else but Grant Nelson, the 6'11 junior forward from Devils Lake, an exceptional talent. He surpassed the 1,000-point mark last night, scoring over 500 of his points this season. He finished with 23 points, 6 for 15 from the field. He did not make a three-pointer, but he went 11 of 13 from the charity stripe. He also had 11 rebounds to go with it for a nice double-double there. 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 blocks, and he played 39 out of the 40 minutes versus USD last night. Then we have Damari Wheeler-Thomas, the 6-foot freshman guard from Illinois. He only scored 1 point last night. USD did a relatively good job of keeping him subdued. He finished with 4 fouls, did not foul out, only played 30 minutes versus the Yotes. Jakari White, 7 points, 2 for 7 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 1 block in 26 minutes versus USD yesterday. Number 14, Bowden Skunberg, a 6'5 junior guard from Jamestown, right there in North Dakota. 17 points, 6 for 15, got 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals in 35 minutes. And Andrew Morgan, a 6'10 sophomore from Waseca, Minnesota. He scored in double digits, 10 points, 4 of 7, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 turnover. Taking a look at the Jackrabbits. Number 1, Matt Mims, a 6-foot junior guard from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, an all-Summit League defensive team selection. He finished with 9 points against Omaha on Saturday. Had 1 rebound, 1 turnover, and 2 steals to boot in the 34 minutes he played. Zeke Mayo, the 6'3 sophomore guard from Lawrence, Kansas. He knows a bit about basketball being from Lawrence. Leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists, as well as free throw percentage. He's a first-team All-Summit League selection. Then we have Matt Detlinger, 6'8 senior forward from Arcadia, Iowa. He was voted second team All Summit League. 7 points, two out of 5 from the field, 3 out of 4 on free throws. He had an incredible 8 rebounds versus the Mavericks on Saturday. Then we have Alex Arians, a 6'4 senior. He scored a season-high 18 points to lead the Jackrabbits on offense versus Omaha last Saturday. Was 4 for 14, 2 of 6. And then William Kyle III, the 6'9 freshman. He's an incredible freshman from Bellevue, Nebraska. He's a member of the Summit League all-newcomer team here. All right, well, we're about ready to get things started here. Starting lineups about to be introduced momentarily. We'll go ahead and step aside for 1 minute. When we come back, we will bring the starting lineups to you right here from the Premier Center. Again, be back in 1 minute on KSDJ. Welcome back here to the Summit League Tournament, the semifinals. And boy, does it feel like championship night. It's not. This is to get to the championship. We've got number 2, South Dakota State, number 3, North Dakota State. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups as NDSU is being announced here at the floor at the Sanford Premier Center. Let's start with NDSU, why don't we? 6'4", 190-pound freshman guard from Lubbock, Texas. He has started all 18 Summit League games and is the first true freshman for NDSU to do that since 2011-2012. Number 2, Javis Miller. A 6'11", 235-pound junior forward from Devils Lake, North Dakota, leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists. He surpassed the 1,000-point mark last night. Number 4, Grant Nelson. The 6', 175-pound freshman guard from Elgin, Illinois, scoring only 1 point yesterday. Number 10, Damari Wheeler-Thomas. A 6'5", 205-pound junior guard from Jamestown, North Dakota, leads the team in free throws, 3-point, and minutes played. He scored 17 points last night. Number 14, Bowden Skunberg. And a 6'10", 245-pound sophomore forward from Waseca, Minnesota. Scored 10 points in a win versus USD last night. Number 23, Andrew Morgan. NDSU is coached by David Richmond in his 9th season as NDSU's head coach. Graduated from North Dakota State in 2002 and 2005. Previously an assistant coach at North Dakota State College of Science. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Jackrabbits starting lineup as they are announced right in front of me. 6', 175-pound junior guard from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Number 1, Matt Mims. He's an all-Summit League defensive team selection. The 6'3", 185-pound sophomore guard from Lawrence, Kansas, leads the team in virtually every category. Points, rebounds, assists, free throw percentage, minutes played, and he started all 31 games. First team all-Summit League selection, number 2, Zeke Mayo. The 6'8", 240-pound senior forward from Arcadia, Iowa, started all 31 games. Leads the team in field goal percentage, voted second team all-Summit League, number 32, Matt Detlinger. The 6'4", 200-pound senior guard from Madison, Wisconsin. He scored a season-high 18 points to lead the Jacks on Saturday against the Omaha Mavericks, number 34, Alex Arians, and a 6'9", 215-pound freshman forward from Bellevue, Nebraska. He's a member of the Summit League All-Newcomer team, number 42, William Kyle III. Eric Henderson leads this team in his 4th season as SDSU's head coach, 86-34 overall record. He's assisted by Rob Klinkafus, Brian Peterson, and Kyle Marshall, the 22nd Jackrabbit head coach in history and the 2020 and 2022 Summit League Coach of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's shaping up to be a fun one. North Dakota State versus South Dakota State for the right to go to the Summit League Tournament Championship Game to take on the high and mighty Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. The North Dakota State Bison going to be working from right to left in their away uniforms. They're all green with white numerals and a white NDSU across the front, a vertical pattern going down the side. The Jackrabbits working from left to right in their home all-white uniforms with blue numerals, their last names on the back, and Jackrabbit in cursive font across their chest. Vertical striping of yellow and blue on their sides. Detlinger and Andrew Morgan to tip off here, and we are underway. The tap controlled by the Bison, and the offense is going to start going through Damari Wheeler-Thomas, that freshman from Elgin, Illinois. As I mentioned, this Bison team really young. He gets it into Morgan, a sophomore only, still an underclassman, and he'll give it right back to Javis Miller. A quick 2 for the Bison, and we are underway in scoring. 2-0 the Bison, 19 minutes and 32 seconds into the first half. Zeke Mayo gets it in, a shot, a rebound from Matt Detlinger, and he knocks that one down. 2-2 now, still tied up, 19-20 left to go in the first. Gets it left side, now inside to Morgan. Working on the left block between Kyle III and Arians. They work it all the way back up to the point. Got Wheeler-Thomas. Now we'll give it right side on the right wing to Miller. Up top now Skunberg. Back to Miller. Working on the high right. Tried to get it down low to Nelson. The ball will go out of bounds. And the referee will call it in favor of NDSU. Much to the distaste of this SDSU ridden crowd. Lots of yellow and blue in the place, smatterings of red, a little bit of a contingency of green right behind the NDSU bench. Morgan tried to drive inside the lane. First foul going to be called, a blocking foul is going to be on Matt Detlinger. It's going to be his first, team's first, as now Andrew Morgan will go to the line and shoot. Only shooting 51%, so if there's anybody you want at the line, if you're the Jackrabbits, it's going to be him. Does knock the first one down. Second one up. And he makes it. 4-0. Bison lead it, doubling up the Jackrabbits so far. Arians working with the right hand. Handoff Mayo. Detlinger now back to Arians. Working on the high right. Inside Detlinger, working in the lane, spinning around towards his right, back to his left, bounce pass to Mims, and they'll reset on the outside of the arc. Gets it back into Detlinger, working now on the right baseline, spinning around, fade away, and that one will hit the front of the rim, no good. Board down to Nelson. Gives it up forward to Wheeler-Thomas, working with the offense, going right to left for the Bison. Gives it over Miller, 3-ball, back irons off, and it'll bring down to Arians. Still 4-2, 18 and a half minutes left to go in the first half. Working with his left hand, driving in on the left baseline. Fade away. That one's true. That'll tie it up with 18-12 left to go in the first. All knotted up at 4. 2 players each with 2 on each team. It might not have made any sense, but it does make sense if you think about it. Skunberg gets it into Morgan. Back out. Skunberg. Now it gets it around. Wheeler-Thomas, high right for 3. Back irons off. Straight out to Nelson. And they reset, gives it to Skunberg. That one hits the front of the rim now. Ball's ping-ponged around, finally brought down by Arians. Arians gets it inside Detlinger, working, moving on the left baseline. He'll go ahead and get it up over Nelson. 4-2. Matt Detlinger has 4. And the Jackrabbits lead it by 2 here as the crowd gets a little bit louder for SDSU now. Gets it inside now. Morgan working on the right side. Gets it up top. Now Wheeler-Thomas inside Nelson working on the left block. Kick out now. Wheeler-Thomas fade away. That one's good. Ties it right back up at 6. 17 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first half. Right-handed dribble by Arians gets it to Kyle the third. Now Mims. Stopping up to Detlinger. Now Arians. Working. He gives it now. Kyle the third. Handoff to Mayo. Trying to drive inside the lane. Stops, pops. That one can't get it to go. Falls down Nelson. Now will get it to Wheeler-Thomas. Wheeler-Thomas coming around the back end of a screen, set up top. Now it finds its way to Morgan. Kick out, back to the top of the key. Now Wheeler-Thomas, left side, inside to Nelson. He gets it up over Arians. Now Skunberg on the give and go. He'll get it down. Spreading the wealth here early are the Bison, 8-6. 4 different players have scored 2 points. 3 of those, which are field goals. 2 points scored off of a free throw. Arians driving in on the left side, off the glass too hard. The rebound falls down to Mims. 3 ball, front irons off, falls down Skunberg. He'll give it to his teammate, Wheeler-Thomas, working. He'll now give it to Miller, the native of Lubbock, Texas. Alex Arians down on the floor near the charity stripe. A little bit shaken up, slow to get up. He finally does get up. Skunberg, a straightaway 3 from the right wing. He knocks that one down. He has 5 points, and the Bison are up 11-6. 15:43 left to go in the first half. Driving inside, Mims decides to kick it back out to the arc. Detlinger, now Arians working on the high right. Over Kyle the third, driving in the lane. He puts it up over Morgan. That one hits the rim, not able to go. Wheeler-Thomas now working, shadowing the right point. And a foul going to be called, whistled. And that is going to be on Andrew Morgan, his first, team's first for NDSU. Both teams will separate. A media timeout on the floor, and we will take it with them. We'll be back here in 1 minute on KSDJ, 11-6, 15 minutes and 22 seconds. Again, back in 1 minute on KSDJ Radio. Welcome back here to KSDJ 90.7. We're here live at the Denny. The cheerleaders, the dance team out there, Jack's chasing his carrot. Everything's right in the world. North Dakota State up early here, 11-6 so far, up over the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Again, we're glad to have you along with us here on KSDJ. The Bison currently on a 7-0 run over the past almost 2 minutes, and the Jacks can't seem to hit anything over their last 4. Also in a scoring drought of over 2 minutes. Again, 11-6, 15 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in the first half. Arians picks it up after being a little bit slow to get up off the ground a little bit just a couple moments ago. Gets it to Mayo, no look pass into Detlinger, working on the block. Fade away, no good, can't get it to go over Joshua Strite. Couple of new faces in for NDSU. We'll update it when we get a chance. Working now, Damari Wheeler-Thomas. He gets it off to Grant Nelson. Back out to Wheeler-Thomas. Working back to the point. He loses the ball. Picked up by Charlie Easley. In for the Jacks. Moving from left to right. Now he gets it to Arians. Working right baseline. Backing into the low block. Spin around, fade away. That one can't go. NDSU is going to have Nelson, Wheeler-Thomas, White, Skunberg, and Strite. A bounce pass now to Jakari White, the 6'3" sophomore guard from Orlando, Florida, the transfer from the College of Florida. Skunberg has it at the point now. Shot clock down to 10 already. 14.5 minutes left to go in the first. Still 11-6. Nelson working on the left, driving the baseline up and around. It swirls out. Brought down by Matthew Moores in for the Jacks. The Jacks are working with Zeke Mayo, Matthew Moores, Charlie Easley, Matt Detlinger, and Alex Arians. Up top, straightaway 3 Moores. That one just a little bit off towards the left. A lot of contact on the rebound. A whistle going to be called down on the right side baseline. Here's the call coming from the ref. And Joshua Strite, freshly in the game, will get his first foul, the 3rd for the team. Excuse me, just the 2nd for the team, the 3rd of the game. Zeke Mayo going to inbound it here as a substitution comes in to Javis Miller back in the game. Had 12 points against the Yotes yesterday. Working in on the block. Detlinger spins around to his right, comes to the ball, back to his left, gives it to Easley. Jumper, no good, and Nelson right there again for the rebound. Nelson, he leads the team with about 9 rebounds per game. He's already got 7. Spinning around, the ball's gonna get poked out but from Miller. Matthew Moores gets a foul call on him. Crowd doesn't like it. And of course, why would a crowd in Sioux Falls rooting for the Jackrabbits not be happy with the kid from Yankton getting a foul called on him? 11-6, 13 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the first half. Gets it inside. Nelson with the right hand, the lay-in, and he has his first points of the game. So far, the Jacks have been good to hold him to none. He's bound to score at some point, though. Working on the left. Now Mayo comes up, pulls up for a jumper, and down comes Skunberg. He gets the board, 13-6. The Jacks still on a scoring run, and the Bison still on a scoring run. The Jacks still on a scoring drought as Nelson is inside. He gets the basket and a foul on the arm. He's going to go to the line. And now Matt Detlinger, he already has his 2nd foul. That's the team's 3rd. As Lance Waddles comes in for NDSU. And Nelson is going to go to the line. Five points so far. 4 points so far. He makes it 5 now. 16-6, a 10-0 lead. A 10-point lead for the Bison. Handoff Easley. Drives in the left of the lane. No look pass to Moores. Spinning around, trying to get around Nelson. He does, and he gets a bad bounce off of the basket. That back iron's off, and it'll fall down to Jakari White. White working. He had 7 points against the Yotes last night, including 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block. Working on the left block now is going to be Morgan. Spin around on William Kyle III, and he'll knock it down. 18-6, and the Jacks just can't get anything going here. A 5-minute scoring drought as Mayo brings it up into the timeline. He's looking for Kyle III. He has him down low, but Nelson's all over him. A foul going to be called now, pointing right at that cluster of people. And that's going to be a foul on Jakari White. His first, team's 3rd. So now the Jacks will settle in. Mayo, a quick inbound to Moores, gives it to Mims at the top. Now Kyle III working just inside the arc. Gets it to Mayo. Now kick out easily for three. It bounces over the backboard, out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover, and the Bison will have it. 18-6 still, 12 minutes left to go in the first half, give or take about 7 seconds. To Javis Mills, quarterbacking the offense for this Bison team. He'll bounce it to White. He'll get it over on the right to Waddles. Inside Morgan. He'll get it up to go over Mims. Both fall down to the ground. The foul is going to be on Mims. And the Bison have all the momentum in their favor. The Jacks haven't scored in about 6 minutes of game time here. 20-6, a monumental lead for the Bison. A timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. We'll be back in 1 minute here on KSDJ. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. Back here at the Denny, not looking so good for the Jacks so far. 20-6 lead for NDSU. Currently on a 16-0 run. And the Jacks are in a scoring drought of nearly 6 minutes. The Bison came to play tonight. They have a lot of pep in their step. Andrew Morgan and Grant Nelson specifically. Nelson has 5 points, 2 for 4 from the field, but he has 9 rebounds, matching his average already here in less than half of the first half. Andrew Morgan has 6 points. He's 2 for 2 from the field and 2 for 2 from the stripe. Morgan at the line, and he knocks down another one. Make that 7 for him. Mayo working now. On the left, gives it to Arians. He tried to cut in there. White's right there. He'll give it Mayo, left side, 3. He'll get that to swirl around and in. Finally, the Jacks get back on the board. Let's see if they can use that momentum to get themselves back into this game. 21-9, the first hurdle, get to at least 10 points. Also, get the stop on this end. Morgan working on the right block now against Kyle III. Whistle right behind those two that were battling. And a foul will be on Kyle III. It's going to be his first 5th team. Matt Dentlinger already has 2. So that's something to keep an eye on here. Hoping the Jacks don't get into foul trouble here early. Gets it into Nelson. He gets stopped, gets it up top to Skunberg. Driving on the right side, he gets that to go through the basket, and it just seems like these Bison can't miss. Skunberg has 7. Mayo coming around a screen set by Kyle III. Now he runs straight into a double team, spinning around, kick out Mims, high right, now easily working on the low baseline. Mayo going right to left all the way to Mims. Arians now working left wing. Driving inside, shot clock at 5, and he gets a short range to go. Arians has 4 points. The Jacks are slowly gaining a little bit of momentum here, 23-11. Let's just see if they can't keep the Bison from keeping running on them. Pick off by Arians down on the right wing. Gets it across the timeline, now kicks over to Easley, driving left baseline. Kick out Mims on the right baseline. Pump fake the three. Mayo alone. Left wing three. He can't get it to go, and the ball fouls out of bounds. Mayo can't get that three ball to fall down. He's currently 1 for 5 from the field. Had a little bit of a rough shooting night the other night as well, going 3 for 16 and 0 for 8 from downtown. He did hit 8 out of his 10 free throw tries, though. He did finish with 14 points. So one of the keys for the Jacks, Mayo has to get hot here if they want to expect to have a chance against this high-powered young Bison team. The shot from downtown going to be missed and brought down by Mims. Gives it to Mayo, easily on the right side. Now Mims, straightaway three, knocks it down, right between the eyes. 9.5 minutes here, 23-14. I can barely hear myself thinking here. Mims gets his first points of the game so far. A high shot coming from Wheeler Thomas, and he knocks it down. 4 points for him, and the Bison back to a 11-point lead now here. Kyle the third driving on the right seam. He gets it off the glass and the harm. Count the bucket, give him the foul. Kyle the third gets on the board finally for the first time tonight. He'll go ahead and shoot a free throw as Joshua Strite gets his second foul called on him. That's the 4th for NDSU. Kyle the third standing at the line. That one back irons out, no good. His point total stays at 2, and the lead stays at 9. Skunberg, wing left, screen set by Nelson, decides not to take it. Pass goes past him. Over to Miller, now to Wheeler Thomas. Gets it back up to Skunberg. Shot clock at 8. 8.5 minutes left to go. Skunberg, short range. That one irons out, brought down by Mims. And here comes Mayo and company. Tries to run right through Wheeler Thomas, goes on the left side. Basket's no good. They'll call a foul right around the arc, says the referee. Joshua Strite already with 3 fouls here in this one. That'll be the team's 5th. Inbound in, Mayo gets it to Mims, and now working Arians, easily on the right. Kick out, Mims, left wing three. Smooth as butter. He has 6, and the Jacks are closing in on the Bison. 25-19, NDSU still leads. The crowd's getting loud in here. Now the ball gonna be out of bounds. The Jackrabbits will get the turnover, looking to capitalize on it when we come back. 25-19, a media timeout. We break with them. We'll be back here in 1 minute on KSDJ Radio 90.7. We're back at the Premier Center here in Sioux Falls, 25-19. Just under 8 minutes left to go in the first half. The Jacks seem to be playing with a whole newfound fire, a new intensity, feeding off of the crowd's energy and slowing this Bison team down. A bunch of the trends that were up on our screen just a couple moments ago, not so anymore. Just a couple of, field goals, 3 of the last 3, 5 of the last 7 for the Bison. The Jacks are slowly climbing back into this one, only down now by 6 points. Skunberg going to inbound it for the green and yellow in the front court. Now Wheeler Thomas dribbling with it. Gets it now to Skunberg. Hand off to White. Back up top to Nelson. Driving left seam, spinning around to his right. Kick out White. He got a block on it. Mayo gets a hand on it, and a whistle going to be called. Jakari White going to inbound it from underneath the basket. Up top now, Nelson dribbling on, shadowing the right wing. He misses the basket completely, and Mayo gets a rebound. His first of the game. He's driving all the way to the basket, went under the basket, tried to get it up on the right side. Whistle gonna be called, and another foul. That's gonna be on Grant Nelson. That's gonna be his first foul, team 6th. And now Mayo will go to the line and take a shot at the bonus stripe. 907 free throw percentage on the year so far, leads the team in that category. He has 3 points so far. And he knocks it down. Four points for him, hit the first one. Again, 90% free throw shooter. And that hits the front of the iron. Brought down Morgan. He gets it over now. Wheeler Thomas gets it inside to Morgan. Back out, he tried to get it back to Miller. Wheeler Thomas, Miller right wing. That one misses. Board brought down by Arians. Coming back now are the Jacks, down by only 5 points. Arians at the top of the key. Working on the left low block. Spins around off the glass, perfectly aimed. And that one rattles down for 2. He has 6. Now working, Skunberg on the left. Bounces it into Morgan. Double team from Mayo and Moores. Gets it back out up top to Skunberg. A pass inside Nelson. He gets stood up at the basket. That one's tipped out of bounds into the press area, and it's going to be the Jackrabbits' ball. Says it goes off of Grant Nelson. 25-22, the Jacks are 3 points away from tying this baby up. You can hear the crowd behind me. They roll it into Zeke Mayo now. Gets it across the 10-second line. Working pull-up for 3. That one misses, hits the rim. Now it's down to White. Spinning around, he gets it to Wheeler Thomas. Now he gets it across their timeline. 6:20 left to go in the first half, 25-22. Working right wing, he gets it up top to White. Spinning in the lane, now kick out Skunberg. That one hits the front. Brought down by Mims. Mayo. Lob ahead to Kyle the third, a little bit too far in front of him. The ball goes out of bounds, and a turnover on the Jacks will give NDSU another opportunity. Only 4 turnovers in this game so far. Pretty clean game on that front here. A shot taken and missed by NDSU. Now Mims gets it to Mayo. going up the far sideline. 5:45 left to go. Kick out easily. Now Kyle the third back to Easley. Arians now working. Wing left. Driving, cutting, fade away. And good. Arians seems to be catching a little bit of fire here. He has 8. Skunberg, wing left, cutting inside, kick out White at the top of the key, backs up behind the arc, back to Skunberg, White inside to Nelson, inside the lane, put it up and it gets a lucky bounce and inside the basket. The deficit down to 3 once again. A whistle in the Jack front court. And the foul going to be on Damari Wheeler-Thomas, his first, team 7th. Zeke Mayo going to go to the line. Knocks down the bonus. That's his 5th point, 2 for 3 from the line so far. Only 1 shot made from the field. He's 1 for 6, but doing his job at the charity stripe. And the second one goes through. 6 points for Mayo. Dribbling up with his right hand now, Damari Wheeler-Thomas. Right wing, gets it to White at the top of the lane. Inside, that's going to be batted away by Matthew Moores. It'll go out of bounds right into this press area right in front of us. Thought I was going to have to catch a basketball there for a second. Skunberg coming out to inbound right in front of me. Inside now, Wheeler-Thomas dribbling at the top. Moores gets hot all over him. Now White, pull up for a long 3. That one rattles out. Brought down easily. Mayo, 1 point deficit now. The Jacks have a chance to not only tie it, but take the lead. Gets it to Moores. Spinning around, kick out Mims at the top. Now Arians, right side. Working at it, hesitating, and now coming around on the baseline. Goes, reverses back to the left. Fade away in the lane, bounces around and through, and the Jackrabbits have the lead. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half, and the Jacks are up by 1, 28-27. White working, gives it up top to Skunberg. 14-2 run over the past almost 5 minutes. Spinning around in the lane, picked off by Arians. He's got a breakaway, he puts it up, not able to go through. But a foul going to be called inside that said lane as both teams come out for the final media timeout of this first half. Jakari White will get the second foul called on him, the team's 8th, and we will step aside here. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. We'll be back in 1 minute. Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center. Just under 4 minutes left to go in the first half, and the Jackrabbits have a 28-27 lead, turning a 14-point deficit into a 1-point lead here. A 14-2 run over the past 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Alex Arians at the line, and that one hits, and it falls out. He's got 10 points. First player in this game to reach double digits so far. Misses his first attempt at the free throw line. Looks to make right on it here. And he knocks that one down. Indeed. Working now. We have Wheeler Thomas, gets it in Nelson. Driving on the left seam. He gets it off the glass, just a little kiss. And he knocks it down. Nelson working with 9, the shot coming from the Jackrabbits, no good. More specifically, Arians, 5 for 8 for him. Now driving on the right side, Wheeler Thomas, and the Bison are coming back now, 31-29. They lead it. 2-point lead to be exact. Driving left, Mayo can't get it high enough. Looked like he might have gotten some contact on the arm, but won't speculate on that. Skunberg gets up top to Nelson, out to Wheeler Thomas. Back to Skunberg. Straight away at the top of the key. Now Wheeler Thomas, inside Nelson. Inside even more to Morgan. And a foul gonna be called on the inside on Matthew Moores. 2 fouls for him. Only 6 for the Jacks. And Morgan will go to the line and shoot 2. He's 3 for 3, a perfect 3 for 3 so far today. And he makes it 4 for 4. Morgan has 8 points so far. He has 1 point and is one of each of these categories. So 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 turnover. 5 for 5. That gives him 9. 33-29 now. 4-point lead for NDSU. Easily gets it to William Cowell III. Working on the left, now Mims. Driving left baseline. Reverse lay-in good. 8 points for him. He's 3 for 4 from the field. Kick out up at the top. Wheeler Thomas. Down low to Morgan now, right baseline. Picked off by Mayo, coming back, full force Jacks. He loses the ball now, and that's picked up by Miller. Feed ahead Morgan, and he jams it home on the opposite end. Completely no defense back there to stop him. 35-31. Arians near the logo. He gets it to Easley. Dribbles up near the point. Buck 38 left to go in this half. 35-31. Arians in the lane. Spin around, fade away. He gets a little bit of contact on the arm. And a foul is going to be called on Skunberg. It's going to be his first foul here in the team's 9th. As Arians goes to the line again. He shoots 75 on the year. And that one is true. 12 points for the game-high leading scorer. Also the record holder for games started for the SDSU program. And he knocks the second one down. Moves to 3 and 4 from the line, 5 of 8 from the field. Now working, Wheeler Thomas at the top, spinning around, a handoff Nelson. Driving left seam. That would be blocked on the glass by Kyle III. but a foul whistled before the shot went up. And the foul will be on Arians. And Grant Nelson will go to the line. He shoots 71. One for one so far, makes it 2 for 2. Perfect 2 for 2 for Nelson, and he makes it 3 for 3. That gets him to 10 points, 2 Bison now, 11 points, 2 Bison now have double-digit point totals. Andrew Morgan, Grant Nelson both with 11. Working now as we tick down close to the 1 minute mark. Easily, Kyle the third, wing left, gives it out to Mims. He pump fakes. Now gives it up at the top. Over right easily, now Arians driving right baseline. Gives it inside the seam to Kyle the third. He can't get that to go. Now both teams will go to their separate sides. And NDSU will call a timeout, a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. 37-33. Jacks battled all the way back from 14 down to tie it up and even take the lead. Now they're just down here. 4 points to their interstate rival. Arians leads the Jacks with 13 points. Right after him, Matt Mims with 8. He's 3 for 4 from the field. While Grant Nelson and Andrew Morgan both have 11 points. Nelson has 10 rebounds, which is more than his game average of 9. It's 2 assists, only 1 personal foul. The only person in foul trouble so far in this game, Joshua Strite with 3. Now working left side, gives it to Morgan. Less than a minute to go. Arm bar on the inside, that'll be a foul. And Kyle the third gets his second called on him. 8 for the Jacks. And Morgan will go to the line to shoot bonus. It's up and good. Morgan advances to 6 of 6, 12 points. So far, he's also 3 for 3 from the field. He's perfect so far in this one in the 15 minutes he's played. That one now it back irons off, brought down by Nelson, but a foul going to be called on the rebound on Kyle the third. And he quickly picks up his 3rd foul. And Nelson now at the line to shoot the bonus. He's 3 for 3. That one gets a lucky bounce off the back and it gets knocked down. And he makes the second one. 5 for 5, 13 points for Grant. So now the Jacks are back on offense. Fought all the way back. They find themselves down by 7 now. Dribbling with the ball on the far sideline, going to be Zeke Mayo. Working on the left. Left wing now, he drives inside the lane. A little shake and bake, he tried to get it up. Now 10 seconds, no shot clock is on for NDSU. It's stolen away by Mims. They're not going to call a whistle on that one. He gets tripped up, and that's when they'll call the whistle. And they'll give him 2 shots. Foul going to be on Nelson, his second, 9th team. And they go down to the opposite end to give Matt Mims a couple of shots here before we play out the rest of the 3 seconds and 5/10 of a second. Mims' first trip to the line today. That one back irons out. Now Mims. Second one. And that one swirls around a couple of times and down. 1 for 2 on that one. He has 9. Nelson with 1 second, heaves it from half court. Had the distance, a little bit off towards the right, and that's how we end the first half. 40-34, North Dakota State has the 6-point lead. The Jacks not out of it by any means. You wouldn't have thought that if you looked at the score earlier. Coming down from 14 down, they battle back. We have a ball game, folks. It's halftime here at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. We'll go ahead and step aside here on KSDJ. When we come back, we'll take a look at the first half stats, take a look around the world of college basketball. We'll get you set up for the second half. Again, you're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center. Got about 8 minutes left till we get the second half underway. What an eventful first half, really. Jackrabbits down by 14, battled their way back to take the lead. A 2-point lead, their biggest lead of the game. They can't finish it out during the half. 34-40 is the score at halftime here between NDSU and SDSU. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats from both teams. We'll start off with North Dakota State. Take a look at the point totals to Javis Miller with 2 points, Damari Wheeler-Thomas with 6, and Bowden Skunberg with 7. Then we get to the two top scorers for the Bison. Andrew Morgan, 12 points. He's 3 for 3 from the field, 6 for 7 from the charity stripe, has 1 total rebound, 1 personal foul, and 1 assist and 2 turnovers. Alongside that, it's got a plus-minus of 9. And then Grant Nelson, the leading scorer for the Bison, 13 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 0 of 2 from three-point land, and 5 of 5 from the stripe. He's got 12 rebounds, 2 personal fouls, 2 assists, a plus-minus of 8. As a team, Bison have 8 assists, 6 turnovers, 1 steal, and 1 block. That 1 block coming from Jakari White. As a team, they're shooting 48%, 1 for 10 from downtown, and 11 of 12 for a ripe 92% from the free throw line. Now looking at the Jacks, a little bit more to go over here. William Cowell, the third, with 2 points. We have Matt Detlinger with 4 points, Zeke Mayo with 6, and Matt Mims with 9. He's 3 for 4, 2 for 3 from downtown, 1 for 2 on the charity stripe, 4 rebounds, and 1 personal foul. He also has 1 steal and a plus-minus of -6. And Alex Arians, he's been having a heck of a game for the Jackrabbits. 13 total points, 5 for 8 from the field, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 personal foul, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 3 at a plus-minus of a +3. As a team, the Jacks have 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 5 steals, and 1 block. That 1 block coming courtesy of 1 Zeke Mayo. 12 for 31, at 38% from the field, 3 for 8 from downtown, and 7 for 11 from the charity stripe. NDSU spent 16 minutes and 34 seconds with the lead, and 55 seconds for SDSU. There have been 2 points off of turnovers for both teams, 2 points off of fast breaks for NDSU, and 1 point off of a fast break from SDSU. Score at the half, 40-34. NDSU up over SDSU. We'll go ahead and take another 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll get you set up for the second half. And yeah, that's where we sit. Again, you're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball and KSDJ. Be back here in 3 minutes. Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center. We're just about set to get the second half underway. Take a look again at the leading scorers for both teams. Alex Arians with 13, Matt Mims with 9 for SDSU, Grant Nelson 13, and Andrew Morgan with 12 for NDSU. Glad to have you along with us, whether you're listening on our frequency 90.7 FM, ksdjradio.com, or the TuneIn app. We thank you. Also got YouTube up and running for this one today. Jackrabbits working from right to left in their home white uniforms. NDSU in their away green. The ball's ping-ponged around, brought down by Matt Detlinger back in the game after getting 2 fouls pretty early, and he gets a give and go and start things off right. Arians starting off hot here. 2 more points on that. That gets him to 15. Now a step back from Wheeler Thomas. That one is knocked down. Working with the right hand now, Arians up at the top. Gives it over right to Mims. Cuts inside, step back, 3! Adds to his 9 points, gets it up to 12 now. Andrew Morgan working on the right low block. A foul going to be called in favor of the Jackrabbits. Detlinger going to inbound it under their own basket. Dribbling up the court. It'll be Detlinger. He gives it to Arians. Trying to get into the lane on the left side. Kiss off the glass. No good. Ball's ping-ponged around. Brought out by Detlinger. Man, he's been such a force in the paint so far here in the second half. Kicking out rebounds. Now Mayo fadeaway. He can't get that one to go. He has a total of 6 points still, and he moves to 1 of 9 from the field. That one basket made a 3-pointer. Working now, Morgan gets it to Miller. Now to Wheeler Thomas inside Nelson, back out Wheeler Thomas, right wing 3. He knocks it down. After getting only 4 points in the second half, Wheeler Thomas, he has 11 now. Now working around Mayo, cutting inside, he gives it to Mims, out to Mayo, back to Mims, right wing 3, no good, rims off, and it's brought down by Morgan. Up top, crosses the timeline. Now kick out, Skunberg, left, 3, and they're shooting the lights out of this place so far here. In the second half. 48-39, back to a 9-point lead, and here Mayo, a little mid-range. He finally gets one to go, gets his point total up to 8. Step back. Jackrabbit fans want to travel. No call is given. Nelson up at the top. Gets it over right side baseline to Miller. Coming around the edge. Pop and shoot it. Rims out, brought down Arians. Arians gets the board here and keep it as he comes up the near sideline. Working with his right hand now at the top of the key. Dribbling back to his left hand now. Driving left seam. Fade away. That hits the front of the rim. Rebound falls down Nelson. Here comes Wheeler Thomas now, dribbling with his 2 hands. 16 minutes left to go in the second half, 48-41, a tight contested game here as of in the late first half. As a short-range jumper from Wheeler Thomas, man, he is a good shooter. He's come out here and became the tied is NDSU's leading scorer with 13. Here's Mims up top. Now they find its way down to Mayo, driving right baseline. Stopped, kiss off the glass, too hard, brought down by Nelson. He goes up and pulls it down. Getting it now, Scunberg, driving on the left, spinning towards his right. And he knocks it down. Man, Wheeler-Thomas isn't the only one that's getting hot now. The whole entire team is. A full timeout going to be called here, 52-41. The timeout from SDSU. We will step aside there. We will be back here in 1 minute on KSDJ Radio. Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center. Got about 15 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in this second half, 52-41. The Bison have the lead here. Some sharp shooting coming from Damari Wheeler-Thomas so far in this second half. He's gone ahead and matched up with Grant Nelson for the team lead with 13. The Bison now have 4 players in double digit points. And they're all on the floor right now. Grant Nelson with 13, Damari Wheeler-Thomas with 13, Bowden Scunberg with 12, Andrew Morgan with 12. The Bison are getting hot. Damari Wheeler-Thomas especially is getting hot. 52-41, the Jacks trailing the Bison here. Glad to have you along with us on KSDJ. Braden Byers here. Catherine Jones back to the studio doing a magnificent job. Arians gets the inbound, gives it over to Easley. He comes up on the near side, gets it across the 10-second line. Hand off now to Arians, standing on top of the Summit League Championships logo. Inside to Detlinger, barely shadowing inside the arc. He hands off to Mayo. That one gets stripped, and it's brought up by White. Jakari White for NDSU. He has no points so far in this one. Gets it over to Scunberg, bounces it to Nelson, driving on the left, spin around, and he puts it up, and that one rattles out. Brought down Arians, and he gives it, Mims gives it over to Mayo. Top of the key, bounces it inside to Detlinger. That one gets blocked. Jacks want a foul, don't get it. Now on the right side, Scunberg. Wheeler-Thomas all the way around to Nelson. He takes it on the left baseline, working on the low block. Kick out now, White, cutting inside and a pop, and he gets his first points. Jakari White with 2 points. He's now 1 for 3 on field goals. Mayo now working on the left wing. He backs up a little bit. He gets it inside. Low block Detlinger on the left, working inside the lane, spinning around to his right off the glass, and that one finally falls in after what seemed like an eternity of it just staying on that rim. He has 6 now. Get it into the Jacks front court. We will now step aside for a media timeout. Once again, we will be back here in 1 minute. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ, 54-41. 54-43. The Jackrabbits are giving the Bison all they can handle, but the Bison are doing just the same for the Jacks. So far, Damari Wheeler-Thomas caught fire here in the second half. He's now tied for the lead in points for NDSU. On the other side, Alex Arians has been having a whale of a game so far. He has 15 points for the Jackrabbits. He's 6 for 11 from the field, 3 for 4 from the stripe, but he's been also instrumental on the boards. He's got 4 rebounds. The lead for the Jacks on that category is Matt Mims. Thank you for tuning in here on KSDJ. Glad to have you along with us, your student home for Jackrabbit Athletics. It's been a fun one so far here tonight. Let's keep it rolling for the next 13 and a half minutes. Inbounded now, easily gets across the 10-second line. Dribbling with his right hand, now over to his left. Bounces to Detlinger at the top of the key. Handoff Mayo. Coming around towards the top, stepping back, and he gets it inside to Detlinger. On the left baseline, now working low in the block, inside the lane, spinning around, going back, and then reversing it. That one will go down. I do think a whistle was blown before that, though. So Josh Strite in there gets his 4th, so he'll immediately come back out. Strite's played all of 6 minutes in this game. Spinning around to his right, Detlinger, and that one can't get a lucky roll. 13:08, 54-43 is the score. Wheeler-Thomas at the logo, gives it inside to Nelson, working on the left baseline, now is White. Pull up. That one bounces off the rim. Arians dribbling with the ball between his legs. Now he kicks it out to Easley, cutting inside, back out Detlinger at the top of the key. Stopping, give out to Arians, shadowing the right side of it, driving in the lane. On the right seam, gives it out Mayo, left baseline. Shot clock down to 10. He's working in a low block, getting inside the lane, trying to spin around. He lifts it up over, and he just cannot get anything to fall tonight. Only 8 points. He's 2 for 12 from the field. Now Andrew Morgan gets it in and gets it home. He now has the team high 14 points. Easily gets the ball tipped away. He grabs it, gives it quickly to Mims. That shot going to be no good for Matt Mims. 56-43, just under 12 minutes left to go in this second half. So far, NDSU outplaying the Jacks. The Jacks have only had the lead for 55 seconds in a totality in this game. Andrew fadeaway jumper, that one rims off. Brought down right side 3 from Easley, back irons. And Nelson will pull it down. Jacks haven't scored in over 2 minutes in this one. And they can't get anything to fall, just one of their last 8. Scunberg working on the left side of the lane, fade away, and he knocks it down. .14 for him as well, tying the team high on their end again. Mayo pulls up for 3. It hits the front of the rim. He just doesn't know what to do to get out of this little slump he's in. 2 for 13 tonight. 3 for 16 last night. As plays stopped here on the court, we'll step aside with them. 10 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the second half. 58-43, NDSU leads it. Again, we'll step aside, be back here in 1 minute. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. for here. Mims at the line. Makes both of those free throws here. 14 points for Matt Mims. The Jacks are trying to claw back into this thing. Skunberg dashes all of those hopes. He shoots a three, and he knocks it down for him. Skunberg, the team high, 17, and the game high now, surpassing Alex Arians' 15 total points. 61-45, under 10 minutes left to go in the second half. Mims, three ball from the left baseline. He knocks that one down, and hopefully he's coming alive here. Wheeler-Thomas bounces it to Nelson. Going to full court press here. Ball's going to be tipped away right into the hands of the NDSU bench. So NDSU will start with the ball in their front court. Inbound now to Morgan. Gets it to Wheeler-Thomas, dribbling around. Back to Skunberg, working on wing left. 9.5 minutes left to go in the second. 48-61, Jacks trail. He loses the ball as he drives inside there. A whistle going to be called quickly. Calling off the ball foul. As Charlie Easley gets called for his first foul, the team's first of the second half. Only 3 fouls so far here in just over 10 minutes of play in the second half tonight. Inbounds it into Nelson. Coming on the right seam, spin around, and he gets it. Nothing but net. Might have hit a little bit of rim, but you get what I mean. 15 points for him, 5 of 11 from the field, 5 of 5 from the line. Moore's working on wing right, handoff to Mayo. He cuts inside. Kick out Arians, left wing, three. And that one swirls around and in. Arians, a three-pointer. To get him back in the lead in total points, 18. And a foul in the backcourt. William Cowell III and Grant Nelson fall onto the playing surface. And a foul is going to be assessed to the aforementioned Nelson. So Jakari White coming in for NDSU. Matt Detlinger for the Jackrabbits. Wheeler-Thomas dribbles across half court. Gets it now to White. Down baseline, Wheeler-Thomas driving all the way. Kick out White, right baseline three, and he's sharp from it. White has 5 points all in this second half here. 2 for 6. One of those a three-pointer. That three-pointer right there. Arians loses the ball at the top of the key. Brought down by Wheeler-Thomas, driving all the way. And now Mills goes to the basket. Miller, excuse me, goes to the basket. He puts it up and in for his 4th point of the night. Miller, he's 2 for 5, and Wheeler-Thomas gets an assist on that one, his 5th. Now working in the right wing. Moore, step back, misses the basket completely. It falls down to Nelson. He gets it back to White, and now Wheeler-Thomas dribbles up. Nelson, left three. He's perfect. Timeout called. Chest bumps for the Bison. 71-51. And a timeout called. We step aside, 7.5 minutes left to go in the second half. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. Be back in 1 minute. 71-51, the Bison are leading by 20 here in the Denny. An 8-0 run over the past nearly minute, and shooting 6 of their last 6 has deflated this Jackrabbit crowd a bit, as well as this Jackrabbit team forcing a timeout there. A 30-second timeout called by the Jackrabbits was stretched to a full media timeout. Again, 71-51, NDSU leading SDSU. Mayo brings it across 10-second line, drives inside, off the basket, and good. He reaches to 10 points. Finally, is now Morgan. Bounces it to Wheeler Thomas, dribbling around the logo. Now he gets it over to Skunberg, working on the left. Step back 3 for him. The Bison are too hot. Simply put, the Bison are too hot. Skunberg has 20. He's going off tonight. Kick out easily, left baseline 3. He knocks it down. Charlie easily gets on the board for the Jacks tonight. 3 points, he's 1 for 4. Now an inbound up to White. Nearly lost it across the timeline. Gives it to Jakari White now. At the top, stop. Gives it back out now. Nelson dribbling backwards. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. 24-56. Foul called. Matthew Moores. His third, team's third of the second half. Skunberg bounces it inside now to Wheeler Thomas at the top. Spinning around, Jakari White. Shadowing the left side of the point. Now Skunberg wing left, baseline left. Now is Morgan working on the low block, spinning to his right, reversing to his left. Not able to make contact with the basket. Now Mayo brings it up into the front court. Easily back to Mayo. Drives on the left seam, spinning around, off the glass, kisses it and good. Mayo may be heating up a little bit here, but there is such a thing as too little too late in this one. The Bison up by nearly 20 points, and a travel called by Nelson, reigniting the Jackrabbit crowd a little bit. So that'll be a turnover on him. Bison now have 10 turnovers. As Arian set to inbound at the 10-foot line. Gets it back to Mayo, who crosses the court. Missing, stepping back now outside the arc. Spinning on the right. He loses the ball out of bounds. Will be off the Bison, and Arians goes back to inbound it. 12 points for Mayo. He's 4 of 15. If he could have hit a couple more shots, this may be a different game. Not putting the blame entirely on him at all. In fact, if he would have had a perfect game, I'm not sure if the Bison wouldn't still be leading. Coming up now here, Mims at the top. 4-3 on the shot clock, and that gets it to go from Matt Detlinger. At least I do believe that's who it was. Could not quite see. Nope, Matt Mims does get it to go. He is 18. A 3-ball from Skunberg. That hits the side iron, and now the ball will go to the Jackrabbits. A little bit of life left in these little Rabbits from Brookings. 74-60. A 14-point lead for the Jacks as Mayo gets it in the backcourt. Near side, he gets that poked away. Wheeler Thomas coming down the seam. Blocked by Detlinger with a rebound from Skunberg, and he'll put it right back in there. Skunberg trailing the block, takes it right from Detlinger, puts it right back down in the basket. Excellent blocking from Detlinger, but Skunberg was just right there to foil all of the elation of the Jackrabbits. 76-60. A 30-second timeout going to be called. They'll stretch it. No, excuse me, a full timeout will be called by North Dakota State. We step aside with them. 76-60. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. Back at the Denny, 76-60. A 16-point lead for the Bison. This one isn't quite over yet, however. Timeout called by NDSU. Now the Jackrabbits will inbound it, moving from right to left. Mayo gets it across the timeline, bounces it to Arians, back to Mayo, spinning on the right wing. Now down on the baseline, spinning around towards his left, and a charge going to be called down low. Eric Henderson isn't happy about that. The Jackrabbit fans aren't either. Replay shown on the screen. Zeke Mayo's first personal foul, fourth team foul. As they wipe up a little bit of sweat on the floor. Nelson gets it into White. Over on the near side to Skundberg, back to White, dribbling up the center of the court. Under 5 minutes left to play in this one. Skundberg gets it tipped away. Mims almost comes up with it. Wheeler-Thomas gets it, bounces it to Skundberg, hesitates, puts it off the glass and down. Skundberg overwhelmingly running away with the point total contest here, 22 to be exact. Damari Wheeler-Thomas gets a foul call on him. That'll be his second, team's third of the second half. Inbound into Mayo, up to Mims. Now Detlinger working on the right seam. Kick out, Arians for three. Some contact down low and a foul called now. And that'll be on Easley. Second for Easley, fifth for the Jacks. Skundberg gets it over on the right wing now. Working back, Wheeler-Thomas. Working with the basketball, shot clock at 8. Give it right baseline. White, 5, 4, 3. Gives it up for 3. Eight points for him, all in the second half. Arians driving in the lane, gives it up to Detlinger. Too far down low. Arians will try again, this time a fadeaway. Gets a couple of bounces and down. Arians, he's at 20. A full timeout called once again. 3.5 minutes left to go in this one. 81-62. NDSU leads. We'll be back here on KSDJ in 1 minute. (81-62). The Jacks trail by that margin. The Bison up over the Jacks here. 3.5 minutes left to go in the second half. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. Braden Byers here with you. Catherine Jones back in the studio pushing the ones and twos, making me sound oh so pretty. Bowden Skunberg, 22 points tonight. The Bison have 3 players in double digits, 1 knocking on the door. The Jacks have 2, 1 just outside of 20 points and 1 at 20 points. Grant Nelson, he has 18. He's getting set to inbound it for the Bison. Just a couple short 3.5 minutes left to go. And this one for a right to play in the Summit League Championship game. The ball's getting ping-ponged around all over the place. Finally, after things settle down, Wheeler Thomas comes up with it. Nope, I guess we're not done. Gets poked away by Easley. 3 ball from Mims. Just a little bit short. It hits the side iron. Brought down by Nelson. I think we're going to play a little bit of normal basketball here now. Wheeler Thomas gets it across, almost out of bounds. Now he gets the ball back. Dribbling with his right hand, moving it to his left. Now cutting inside, spinning and reversing it. Under 3 minutes, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Going up is Miller. Skunberg jumped, tried to grab the ball. Now the opposite way, easily pulls up for a 3, banks it off the glass. Raises his arms to his side and says, what now? Looks like something got dropped on the court. A hit pad belonging to Damari Wheeler-Thomas. 81-65. Charlie Easley after that three-pointer is 6 points. Nelson pump fakes the pass, then gets it to Miller. Now White has it. Wheeler-Thomas working. He gives it over to Skunberg. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in this one. And it's looking like the Bison will be going to the Summit League Championship game for the 5th year in a row. Kick out Nelson, straightaway 3, no good. Brought down 2:08 left to play. Mayo working with it on the left side. Dribbling, kicks it up top. Detlinger, 3 on the left wing is good. 68-81, the Jacks still trail it. White going to be intentionally fouled by Mayo. So Mayo will take his second, team 6th. Now Grant Nelson will inbound it. Inbounds it. Wheeler Thomas with the left hand. Gets into the front court. Working now. Bounce pass over to White. Buck 35 left to go. Driving in the lane. Kick out Skunberg. Dribbling now, gives it to Wheeler Thomas. Shot clock at 7, 6, 5. Inside the lane, Nelson. Kick out Skunberg. 2, 1. That one misses the basket completely. Shot clock violation on NDSU. And the SDSU student section ain't giving up. Minute 21 left to go. 81-68. Up top, Mims inside to Detlinger. Laid it up and in. But a foul called on Jakari White before the basket could count. Inbound from Arians to Detlinger on the left wing. Fade away. He knocks it down. Detlinger has 9 points, just over a minute left to go. Nelson to Wheeler Thomas on the far sideline. Gives it over Jakari White. Coming up, driving inside. He now kicks it out. Wheeler Thomas holding it near the logo. And an intentional foul coming from Charlie Easley. It's going to be his third and the team's 7th. Jacks are within 11 here. 52 seconds. 52 and 4/10 of a second, I should say. And Damari Wheeler Thomas at the line. First trip there tonight. Hits the back iron, but goes down. Gets him to 16 points. Looking for his 17th here with the next shot. The second one hits the front of the rim, hits the back of the rim, and it goes down the net. Timeout from NDSU. Just going to be a quick 30. We'll keep it right here. 83-70. 13-point lead for the Bison. And things sure do seem favorable for them to make it to their 5th consecutive Summit League Championship game. The winner of this game takes on Oral Roberts tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Oral Roberts earlier today defeating St. Thomas in a hard-fought game, especially when you consider St. Thomas a 5 seed and Oral Roberts the undefeated regular season champions of this Summit League. Arians looking to inbound it, gets it to Easley, coming on the near sideline now. Across the 10-second line, pull up 3. Knocks it down. Coming out of nowhere with that. 9 points for him, all in the second half. Now White gets a long pass now. Skunberg all alone underneath the basket, lays it in for 2. Excellent designed play there. Skunberg has 24 points. Mayo shoots it up and almost hits in the basket. He'll go to the line, shoot 2. Wheeler Thomas will have his 3rd foul. As Zeke Mayo will go to the line and shoot 3. Had the chance at the elusive 4-point play there. Didn't get that basket to go, so Mayo will go to the line. Takes a deep breath. First one knocks down. Second one on the way. Good. Mayo is 13. 14. And he makes all 3. 15 is the score. Coming up in the front court now, Miller gonna dribble it, gives it to Wheeler Thomas, intentional foul coming from Matt Mims. Going to be his second, team's 8th. And Wheeler Thomas going to go on the line. Shot clock is off, 23 7/10 of a second left in this one. Wheeler Thomas, 85% shooter. Front iron's off, brought down by Arians. Gives it across to Mayo. Quickly on the right side for 3. And he gets that to swirl around and down. 85 79. 6-point difference. Is Miller going to be intentionally fouled? Here in this one, you know, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. To Javis Miller, going to the line. 13 2/10 of a second left. 67% free throw shooter on the year. And he knocks it through. Not without lack of trying by the crowd here. And he knocks the second one through as well. Miller has 6 points, 13 seconds left. Mayo coming up straight away at the key. Pump fake, and then he finally takes a shot, back ironed off, falls down to Nelson, and fouled. Gonna go on Mims, I do believe. Is the NDSU fan base gets loud here to Javis Miller, signaling to the crowd to get up, cheer. .1 seconds left. Nelson at the line. And he knocks it down. That'll give Nelson 19 points. He's 6 for 6 from the line. Dribbles the ball, spins it around, and hits the second one. 3 seconds left, 2, 1, a heave from Mayo. And the Bison will be heading back to the Summit Leagu Championship Game. They will try and snap Oral Roberts' 20-game winning streak tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here in the Denny Sanford Premier Center. 89-79, a hard-fought 10-point win for the Bison as they try to make it back to the NCAA tournament for the 7th time in program history. We'll go ahead and step away here for 3 minutes, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the final stats, take a look around the world of college basketball, and prepare you tomorrow for the Summit League Championship Game on the women's side, as the Jackrabbit women will be taking on the Omaha Mavericks for a chance to go to the dance. Once again, we will step away. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on KSDJ. Be back in 3 minutes. Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center. The final score here tonight, 89-79. NDSU beats the South Dakota State Jackrabbits to advance to the Summit League Championship Game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. versus the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. Tough, hard-fought game. South Dakota State came back from down 14 to take the lead for all of 55 seconds. Then relinquished it to the Bison, and they never gave it back up. And South Dakota State falls here tonight in the Summit League semifinals. Let's go ahead and take a look now at both teams' stats. We'll start off with the victorious Bison. 6 points for Javis Miller. 8 points for Jakari White. 14 points for Andrew Morgan. He's 4 of 6, 6 of 7 from the stripe. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, and a plus-minus of 19. And then we have Damari Wheeler-Thomas. He had 17 points, 7 of 10 from the field, 1 for 2 from downtown, 2 of 3 from the stripe, and 2 rebounds. He also had 7 assists, 3 turnovers, and 2 steals, also plus-minus of 4. Then we get to Grant Nelson. He has 20 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown, 7 of 7 from the stripe, 22 total rebounds for him, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and 2 block shots, a plus-minus of 12. And then Bowden Skunberg, the leading scorer for the game, 24 points, 10 of 15 from the field, 4 of 8 from three-point range, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, a plus-minus of -3 in 37 minutes and 30 seconds. As a team, the Bison had 18 assists, 12 turnovers, 4 steals, and 2 blocked shots. They shot 56% from the field, 8 of 20 for 40% from downtown, and 17 of 19 for a ripe 90% from the stripe. Now looking at the Jacks, we have William Cowell III with 2 points, Charlie Easley with 9 points, and then we have 4 players with double digits. We'll go them in order here. Matt Detlinger with 11 total points, 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 1 from downtown. Made no attempts at the line, had 2 rebounds and 1 block assist, plus-minus of -16. Then we had Zeke Mayo. He finished with 18, a little bit cold shooting tonight, 5 of 17, 2 of 6. The points came from the stripes, 6 of 7 for him, 4 rebounds. Had 3 assists, 5 turnovers, and 1 steal, and 1 blocked shot for a plus-minus of -5. And then you had Matt Mims, 19 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and plus-minus of -12. And Alex Arians finishing with the most points on the Jacks, 20 points, 8 of 15, 1 for 2 from downtown, 3 for 4 from the line, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block assist, and a plus-minus of -1. As a team, the Jacks finished with 11 assists, 7 turnovers, 8 steals, 1 block shot, and 2 block assists. The Jacks shot 44.4%. They shot 11 of 22 from downtown for a nice 50%, and 12 of 16 at the line for 75%. As I mentioned, the Jacks held the lead for 55 seconds. NDSU had it the rest of the time for 36 minutes and 34 seconds. NDSU had 8 points off of turnovers. SDSU had 6, while NDSU had 14 fast break points, and SDSU had 12. NDSU's biggest lead was 21, coming at 7 minutes and 2 seconds left in the second quarter. And SDSU's biggest lead was 2, and that was at 17 minutes and 38 seconds left in the first half. There were 4 lead changes, 4 ties at halftime. It was 40-34 NDSU, just a 6-point lead. And here in the final, it is 89-79. Let's go ahead and give you a quick recap of the day and set you up for what the series of events will be tomorrow here at the Premier Center. Earlier on today at 12:30, South Dakota State the women's team defeated 5th-seeded Oral Roberts 87-60. They advanced to the championship game being held at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And then the 10th-seeded Kansas City Roos couldn't quite get it done against Omaha, losing by 9 points, 60-69, as Omaha advances to the championship game. And that will be at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So, first-seeded SDSU versus 6th-seeded Omaha at 1 p.m. tomorrow night. We will have that one here on KSDJ. Pregame 12:45. Tip-off at 1. And then on the men's side at 6 p.m., first-seeded Oral Roberts defeated 5th-seed St. Thomas 70-65. They advanced to the championship game. And the second-seeded South Dakota State losing to 3rd-seeded North Dakota State 79-89, and they advanced to the championship game. So top-seeded Oral Roberts versus 3-seed North Dakota State at 8 p.m. tomorrow night here at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. We will not have that one on KSDJ as South Dakota State is not playing in it. So that's the series of events that happened today and the series of events that will be happening tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take a look at the top 25 on the men's college basketball scoreboard. One final, number 16, St. Mary's defeats BYU 76-69 in the West Coast Conference Tournament semifinal. And then happening right around now, it should be starting here pretty quick if it hasn't already started. Number 9, Gonzaga taking on San Francisco in the West Coast Conference Tournament semifinal as well. That is at 10:30 is when it was supposed to start on ESPN2. Just a reminder tomorrow that the men's game will be broadcasted live on ESPN2 at 8 o'clock p.m. right here from the Denny Sanford Premier Center, and that we will have SDSU versus Omaha for the women's Summit League Championship game for the chance to go to the big dance for the SDSU women undefeated in conference play. Again, pregame starting at 12:45. Tip-off at 1 p.m. for that affair. Final here tonight, 89-79. South Dakota State season comes to an end, presumably, unless they do get a nod from either the NCAA tournament bid. Selection Sunday is this next Sunday, or the National Invitational Tournament may come knocking. There is always a chance for that. We will see that down the road. But for the time being, the South Dakota State men's season has come to an end. A couple of people were losing. You know, we take a look at Matt Detlinger, Alex Arians. They're going to go ahead and take off after being around this program for so long. But there's many people looking up. Luke Apple medically redshirted this year after having an injury all season long, only playing 5 games, averaging 14 minutes a game. Then, of course, we have Zeke Mayo coming back. He's only a sophomore. Matt Mims, William Kyle III, a freshman, only going to get better. And then we have a couple of other ones like Charlie Easley. He's a junior. He's going to be coming up. Aaron Fegan, Tanner Tesla, Kalen Gary, coming from DeSmet, the Class B product. And so to make it this far and have this good of a conference season, definitely there are no more victories in college basketball, but it's kind of a keep your head up and keep moving forward for the Jackrabbit men's program. Again, final score here tonight, 89-79. I want to thank everybody that makes this thing possible. Our faculty advisor, Brian Stemwell, our station manager / engineer tonight, pushing the 1s and 2s back in the studio, making me sound so good. On the other end, Catherine Jones. For everybody at KSDJ, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I'm Braden Byers saying so long, good evening. Remember, pregame tomorrow, 12:45, tip-off, 1 p.m., Summit League Championship game for women's basketball. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.